I'm Ree from mummyoffour.com. Welcome back to my channel and a house tour 2 years after we moved in to our renovation project. If you've been around here for a while, you may have caught our full renovation series. We bought this house in November of 2019, just before the world went mad, and I did week by week full renovation updates. So there's a whole playlist, you can check that out. And then we moved in 2 years ago during the lockdown. So there is a video which I made last year, 1 year after moving in, where I did lots of updates, and I thought I'd do this 2 years after moving in video, but this is going to be a bit of a different kind of house tour. Today I am not just going to show you around the house, I'm going to show you what's different. I'm going to show you the things I'm pleased that we did, things I regret doing, and perhaps most interestingly, the things that still need doing or redoing. And most of these things are organisation based, because what you will find is after living somewhere for any length of time, things need reorganising. Organisation is not a one and done kind of thing. So I'm going to show you which projects need to be done in my home. I will then be making videos to tackle each of these little organisation areas full of clutter. So if you enjoy that kind of content, make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss any of it. So let's start here in our living room. So this is our living room, which looked really quite different when we bought the house and really still quite different when we moved in. We had a table over here that's now like a nice open area. I've got to say, one of the things I absolutely love that we purchased for this house are these cocktail sofas. They were an absolute bargain in Homebase, and they're just lovely. One thing you may notice that is different from last year, I did show this in a vlog, I think it was around my birthday, maybe even on my birthday. There used to be 3 calyx units along here. Now there are just the 2, so we've got a bit more space. We did that so that I could put the Christmas tree in this corner, pushed further back into the corner, because the first year we were here for Christmas, the Christmas tree was kind of too far into the middle. So being able to push it back into the corner really made a massive difference. It also meant we had space to move this fire into this corner. It's not something we use a great deal, but sometimes after the children have gone to bed, myself and my husband do pop it on, especially in the winter. But what we were tending to find is this used to live in the dining room, and a fire is more like a snuggly room kind of thing, don't you think? The dining room is less of a snuggly room than this living room. So we've still got our sofa. The buffet moves around. It either goes over here or it kind of goes here like a giant bed. And then the final calyx unit has just gone behind this door out of the way. Something I finally got around to doing recently is this picture wall, which has got loads and loads of pictures from our recent Disney trips and the Disney cruise we went on last year. It took me 2 years to getting around to doing this picture wall. I will link the vlog down in the blog post. There's always a blog post to go with each of my videos, and in there I link everything I'm talking about. So I'll put links to these photo tiles. You can probably see they're very, very thin, and they just stick onto the wall with little stickies. I haven't tried to take them off and move them, but apparently you can reasonably easily. I'm actually quite pleased with this photo wall now. It's got some beautiful memories on it. Initially, I was thinking I'd use lots of different frames and lots of depths of frames and lots of different textures and things, but to be honest, it was just another reason for me to procrastinate the project. If you watch the video where I put this photo wall together, I got stressed out enough about just trying to figure out which order they should all go in when they were all flat. So I think if it had been frames as well, it might have taken me another year to get around to it. So initially when it went up, I thought, oh, it's a bit too colourful. It doesn't really go with all the pink and grey. But then I thought, do you know what? They're colourful memories. I'm quite glad that they're up there. So whether it goes perfectly with the room or not, I'm not sure, but I'm still glad it's there. So we've got a hook up here for various things. At the moment, I've got this wicker heart on there, but then we have Halloween wreath, an Easter wreath, a Christmas wreath, and that sort of gets changed around. And then the only other massive change is the children have got their Disney castle that they had for Christmas on top of the toy kitchen. I think in the last video we had the play table in here. To be honest, sometimes it still comes in here, but at the moment it's in the dining room. And then this little, it's not a calyx box, it's from IKEA, but whatever type box it is. Sometimes we put decorations and things in there too. So it's recently been Easter and that was full of Easter eggs and bunnies and various things. So that is our living room. As we head into the kitchen, not a great deal has changed in here since the last tour, to be honest. We had the kitchen from Ren. I vlogged the whole process from choosing it to installing it, right down to organising all of the cupboards. So some of the cupboards are still pretty organised. You see in here? That's not too bad. Not too bad. Some of them are okay. Some of the systems stay in place. I have things like baskets on the top cupboards because I really struggle to reach that high up. So it's easier to pull things down and organise. Some cupboards are fine. Other cupboards have still got baskets and things. I could probably do with going through some of that, but it's not awful. And then other cupboards really need pulling out. So all this is full of baskets, so it will be pretty easy to pull out, but it all needs pulling out and going through. So that is definitely on my need to organise list. Now, one thing we definitely did right was choosing these tiles. Now, my criteria for tiles was that I didn't want them too tiny because the smaller the tiles, the more grout there is to clean, and it's more of a faff. In our last house, we had tiny, tiny tiles. I'm talking tiny, tiny, tiny tiles in the bathroom, and it was such a pain. So larger tiles, and you will notice when we go to the bathroom, they're nice large tiles, easy to clean, were on my criteria. And I wanted what I call subway tiles. Now, my husband pointed out that the subway tiles I wanted, which were kind of like raised and beveled all the way around that look more like bricks, make it really difficult to get the sockets and the switches flush to them. So if you go for a flat tile rather than a beveled edge tile, it may not be the exact same look in the open spaces, but all your switches and your sockets and things will sit a lot neater. So I'm really, really glad that we did that, because if you go to IKEA in places, they have all the beveled edge tiles in their kitchens, but do they have any sockets? No, because they don't need them, do they? But if you're going to need lots of sockets, it is well worth considering flatter tiles. I think you'll agree it's a pretty similar look from a distance, but without so much of the problem when it comes to installing and fitting things nicely flush to the wall. As we go into our dining room, you can see the little play table has been moved into here. It does go back and forth. Having these little play tables has been absolutely fantastic for us. We use them for homeschool, we use them for playing. They're definitely a must buy as you have children, because they can just be popped out in the garden as they get a little bit older. The children have made a doll's house that I'm not allowed to throw away at the moment, so that's what that is. They've been playing with that. So how creative they are, by the way, look. Stairs. They've made bedrooms, they've made furniture. I don't want to touch it in case I break it, but yeah, my children are far more creative than I am. So in here, I'm generally pretty thrilled with this room, to be honest. I'm really glad that we decided to have it as a room without a TV. My husband was on about putting a TV up against that wall, but I'm quite glad to have it as a TV-free room. One of my favourite things in this room, not sure if you can see, is this plastic cover. I get asked about this all the time. It's like a roll-out thing. It's not physically stuck to the table, it just kind of air suctions to it, and it just makes it super easy to clean and do art on and all sorts of things. So I will link that. The other thing that's absolutely made this room so much easier to keep neat is having this calyx unit. Most specifically, if I dare to open this, this is my husband's cupboard of doom. This is all the stuff that he would otherwise leave here, just in a pile on this nice clear surface. So anything he leaves on this nice clear surface, I put into the cupboard of doom, and when he's like, where is my so-and-so? It's like, well, it's in your cupboard. It's there. Now, I'm not going to reach it down now, but I know that top calyx box is in dire need of sorting. So that's got to go on my list of things that need sorting, because the stuff in there, I barely look at. So therefore, if I haven't looked at it, I need to sort it and probably throw it away. In here, we have the children's lunch boxes, which they don't use as much anymore because they tend to have school dinners, but they are easy to access from the kitchen. And then in here, we've got wipes and aprons and things we actually use for dinner, as well as a cake tin for when I make cakes, and placemats, things like that. And then in the bottom, this is really good to have, but this frequently needs reorganising. I can reorganise this once a week and it still ends up a mess. But this is the stationery caddy and the pens and papers and things for children to do art. So for them to have access to that, can't shove it in because it's so full. For them to be able to have access to that is really great. This floor, that we've had downstairs. It's been great. It's really easy to keep clean. It's really hard wearing. And the other thing that I have in this room that's really, really handy are these mats, and these are machine washable, which is just so handy. So people, although we've got AstroTurf out the garden, there is a garden tour on my channel you can check out if you want to see that. But I'm really glad that I have these, because it just means that when they do get a bit icky, I can throw them in the washing machine. I have a few of them. In the winter, I put them by the front door, the door in the office, and this back door. I also love, because it's held up really well, my tree. It's fake. I can't kill it. Here's another fake plant. Can't kill that either. I am rubbish at keeping plants alive. I can just about keep my family alive. Plants, slightly beyond me. Here is another one of these sofas. So this one's a grey one. We have got a pink one in the other room, and they are fantastic. My husband did want to put a log burner here. I'm so glad that we didn't put the log burner here, because I love this sofa. I love this little place to sit. So generally, pretty happy with everything we did in here. My husband put spots in the ceiling in here, which are great. There's no point in putting them on now because it's so bright in here, but they provide really lovely lighting and they're quite efficient. There they go. They're the same as the ones in here, but it's a bit darker in here because it's further away from the window so you can see. Now, what I do regret is not having spots in here, because I've got to admit, I'm not fussed on this light fitting. So while he was doing the ceilings, he said, do you need spots in the living room? I said, well, no, because we just want like evening mood lighting, whatever. But actually, if it's 4 o'clock in the winter and you actually want to just use the living room and sort of make it like daylight, I wish we'd had spots in this room. Obviously, that's much easier to do before you decorate and do the ceilings and things. So that's a bit of a regret, not having those throughout in here. The other mistake we made was initially this floor was grouted with white. People, do not use white grout on your floors, because it's impossible to keep clean. No matter how much you clean it, it just gets stained, and then you have bits that look grey and bits that look sort of white and bits that look, it just looks awful. So when we knocked through for the extension, and these tiles had to be, because this was a wall here, if you remember. If you remember back to when we moved in, or our first year's house tour, this was a window and a wall. So he had to fill in these tiles when the extension was done. What he did was just re-grouted the whole floor. The other thing that's been a really great addition, I'm glad we did, was add these sockets with USB holes in them. So we don't actually need to find to charge a brick. We can just charge, there you go, someone's charging their iPad there. We can just charge things with just the wire. So much easier. One more thing that I don't know why I didn't do it in the last house, but I do it here. I used to store sprays and cleaners and things under the sink with a child lock on them. And now I just store them up here. Anything that might leak, it goes into a basket, but the children can't reach it, and I don't need a child lock on my cupboard. So that is something that I don't know why I didn't do before, and I'm glad I do now. Ooh, almost forgot. If you're new around here, you might not know about my kitchen organisation station, and that is just these printables in some frames. I will link the blog post within the other blog post. So if you want to put one of those together to organise yourself, you can. And having these hooks underneath is great. By the way, I'd just like to draw your attention to down here, to my husband's drill. It's been sitting there for about a month because he wants to do an unboxing of it for his channel and hasn't got around to it. Place your bets in the comments as to how much longer that drill sits there before it gets unboxed. Okay, let's go through into the laundry room and my office. So the laundry room hasn't changed a great deal. We've got the tumble dryer with this stacker thingy on top of the washing machine, which saves a load of space. I think that's just been fantastic for us. The other thing I'm just thrilled with, our laundry system. How I ever survived before this. I did used to use it in the old house, probably about a year before we moved. And basically everything comes out of, when it comes out the dryer, well actually let's start with the washing machine. When it comes out the washing machine, it either goes into the dryer, or stuff that doesn't go into the dryer gets hung up in here, which is like my airing cupboard, which is just some rails above a radiator. And then anything that comes out of the dryer that is dry goes into the box of the relevant person. And then that box gets given to said person and they put their own things away. It has been a game changer. And then I've got this big calyx unit, which is a divider between the laundry room and my office. Now, some things you will notice having changed in here. There's a lot more Disney about the place. So I've got some bags and things up there that I need to photograph for work, like a big ear holder and things on top of here. That's new because, again, I'm using them for work. And the reason there's a lot more Disney stuff is because I now have a Disney YouTube channel, which just turned a year old. So I guess I started that just before we'd been here a year. So yeah, there's a lot more Disney stuff all about the place. We've been on Disney trips, and obviously I've just got more Disney things that I've been sent, and I need to photograph and video for that. So if you are into Disney and you're not subscribed to that channel yet, make sure you are subscribed over there. So in here, obviously for me, with what I do for work, I'm just really glad I've got somewhere to dump ring lights, things like that. And it's quite a luxury to be able to have this space to work in. Quite frequently, there's just a lot of stuff dumped over here, especially if I've done a haul video, I'm about to film something. It's good to be able to have that space. Luckily, I was already kind of set up to work from home before the craziness struck and working from home became more of a thing. One of the big changes in here that really made a difference to me was this just used to be a big ugly boiler. And then we bought this cupboard, which was just an IKEA kitchen cupboard. And doesn't that look so much better than just a boiler? So that I really feel made a massive difference to this room. It made it feel more like a room, if that makes sense, rather than just an ugly space with a boiler in it. This is the sofa where I sit to do a lot of my sit down videos, if you have seen any of those on either of my channels. Yeah, this is my little office. Now let's go back out into the hall, where I tell you what I didn't have last year was this mirror. And it turns on actually. See, last year I was looking for a light up mirror and now I have one. As this hall is quite dark, because originally this was a door, so obviously more light would have come in through there, but it seemed a bit silly to have both a door here and a door here, and we would have lost kitchen space, because this originally when we moved in was just an empty yellow room, and the room that's now my office was the kitchen. So it seemed silly to have two doors into one space, so we blocked it up, but it does mean that it's a bit of a dark space, so a mirror kind of helps to bounce a bit more light about the place, I guess. There are spots, as you can see, in here and in here. For some reason I said, no, I don't want spots in the lounge. Yeah, I regret that. That was a bit silly. Now, for things I still need to organise, some of these boxes need reorganising, but you know what really needs a darn good organise? This hall may look clean and tidy, but all of this needs a massive organise, and all of those need a massive organise. So these boxes are the children's school bag boxes. So I need to pull all of those out periodically, go through them with all of the things they bring home from school, the bits of art, bits of spare PE kit, they definitely all need doing. Now, I love this understairs storage because it hides all the shoes and the coats and things, but guys, it really needs a darn good sort. So this one, not awful, but needs a bit of a going through. Got little baskets full of hats and sunglasses. Masks, don't need those as much anymore, so that's one thing. Right, are you prepared for this? Oh, no. Oh. See, I need to pull all of this out, give it a really good clean. I'm sure some of these shoes don't even fit anymore. And yet, yeah, that's just, for now, we're gonna just close that. But, as you can see, things that are organised, they may look neat and tidy. Look how lovely it looks now. But in there, it's hiding a whole world of mess that really needs sorting. And then in here, again, I need to go through all of this and give it a blooming good sort out, because, I mean, yikes, there's a lot of stuff. Ugh. Not a project for today, but definitely a project for an upcoming video where we can sort with me. Into the downstairs loo. I'm really glad that we actually bothered to put a shower in here, because when we moved in, it was just a toilet and a sink. The other thing that we did that's really good, these lights are auto sensor lights, so we don't have a light switch in here. The light comes on when it's dark enough and it senses you. So at the moment it's light enough, so it's not coming on. But more importantly, it goes off. So we save electricity, because when the children have left the bathroom, the light goes off after a few minutes, which is great. The other thing that's been an absolute game changer is just storage in the bathroom. We didn't have enough of that in the last house. So we've got towels and toilet roll stored in here. This was just an IKEA cupboard. And then this cupboard probably needs a bit of an organise, but I've got space for cleaning products in here. These definitely need organising, because it's just my teenager really that uses this bathroom for teeth cleaning and things now. So that all needs a good sort out. But having storage in rooms to store cleaning things, for example, because that way when you're in here and you think, oh, it's a bit gross, let's not look too closely because I have not cleaned this bathroom today. But basically, having the cleaning things in there means that when you are in a room, you think, oh, this needs a bit of doing, you can just clean it straight away. Means that toilet rolls and towels can be stored where they're actually needed. Taking a brief look in my teenager's room, only very briefly. He's got his desk here. I think this was all moved round since the last house tour. I can't remember. I think he had a different desk and we added this calyx stuff in. Can't be entirely sure, but I think that might have been the case. And then he's got some more storage over here too. The wardrobes at the back are half for storing his things and half of it I use for storing out of season things for the whole family. He's got his TV, PlayStation, guitar and things in the corner, which is normally on the wall, I think. I think it's potentially, I think he normally keeps his guitar up there or down on the stand. It's possibly he's taking his guitar with him to school. Not entirely sure. Anyway, I think that's as much as we're going to say about that room. Right, heading up the stairs, we've got a hook here where we change the wreath for seasonal ones, just the same as in the lounge. Bit of a change up here. We've got the children's pictures. These were kind of overflow pictures from the ones in the lounge. So we've got those floating lanterns from the cruise going up the stairs. The lights and the glass on the stairs are both a regret and a love. I love the look of it. Gosh, highlighting glass with light, which don't get me wrong, I love it, but trying to keep that clean from smears with sticky fingers is a challenge. It's a challenge. It's definitely a challenge. I might still want to put some sort of photo display there, maybe further up here. Not entirely sure about that one. Heading into Zara's room. Now, one of the changes in the girls' rooms and William's room for that matter is a lot more Disney. So we've got all the Disney ears. These are just on command hooks, which are just stuck down the side of the calyx. And also a lot of the bags that I have been very kindly gifted for content on my Disney channel, the girls have got displayed in their bedrooms because they're just so beautiful. So Zara's room is definitely the biggest challenge to keep tidy. The idea was that the others wouldn't want the baby, as she then was, playing in their room. So we'd keep the majority of the toys in here. She's got a little bit more floor space. These are not massive bedrooms in this house, but she's got a lot more storage space. The top tiers of calyx boxes are the toys we store for toy rotation. Anyway, Zara struggles the most with keeping her room tidy, but she is the youngest. She's only 5. When it is tidy, she keeps it tidy, but as soon as it gets a little bit messy, I find this with all the children though, to be honest, as soon as it gets a little bit messy, they find it totally overwhelming. I did recently reorganise, because I think I filmed the video but I haven't edited it yet, these drawers, but I guarantee in another few weeks they're going to need doing again. But basically in here, I need to go through every one of these boxes, see what's inside, have a bit of a declutter. I have done some of them. For example, this is a pyjama box. I'm pretty sure there are pyjamas in there that do not fit her, that need to be recycled or donated or whatever. So yeah, definitely decluttering and organising wise, this room, there is a lot to be done because I need to go through each of these boxes. Probably with the children not at home because they were like, oh, that piece of paper that I scribbled on once, I absolutely needed to keep that forever. Did you, darling? Did you really? Declutter when your children are in school, people. You'll actually be able to be a bit more ruthless. Going into my room, which I absolutely love this room. I do. We've got a bit more floor space in here, but then this room fills up with children in the mornings because this is where they all get ready for school and do their hair and everything. So we need the space. I love, and this is something I would definitely do again, the fact that I've got all these lights. These are just plugged in to an Alexa smart switch. So if I say, Alexa, turn dressing table off. Now, what you'll find is that my hair straighteners, whoop, kick in the bin. My hair straighteners, which are in this, by the way, which I also love. It needs a darn good dust, but it's for keeping hair tools. So my hair straighteners cannot be on if my dressing table is off. So like, put it on, not on. But if I go, Alexa, turn dressing table on. Now my hair straighteners are on, you see? So I mean, I can obviously turn them off on here, which is what I always used to do. But I know, you know when you get that, did I leave the hair straighteners on? Did I leave the hair straighteners on? You know, and you can check from the app, is my dressing table on? Because if my dressing table is not on, my hair straighteners cannot physically be on. And that, I cannot tell you how happy that makes me to have that kind of check. Because it's one of the things you're always like, oh, did I do that? Did I do that? I don't know, maybe that's just me. Now I'm trying to put these away with one hand. This is also super handy, by the way. This pouch thing, especially if you're going away, heat-proof pouch to put your straighteners in. Sorry, let's put that back in there. But if you haven't got one of these hair organising tools, I'll link that in the blog post as well. In fact, there's a blog post like per room. I think there's one just for all the stuff in my bedroom. But someone in the comments of my YouTube videos recommended that, and it's amazing. So things that need reorganising in here. Let's have a look in here. This was organised once upon a time. Now, it's just looking a bit higgledy-piggledy. So this is on my you need to blink and organise it list. It's sort of organised in that some things, you know, it's all in these little little tubs, acrylic bins as they call them in the home edit. But, you know, do I need like mascara I don't use that's probably all dried out? I need to go through it all because while the system is there for everything being organised, stuff has been dumped. It needs a bit of TLC. So that's on my list. Having this drawer has been a game changer. It's for all the children's hair accessories because their uniform is navy and blue. So this is just school hair accessories to clarify, because for the weekends, they've got the stuff in their own rooms. This was supposed to be a basket of bows and a basket of, now it's just a drawer of tangled. So all this needs to come out. That's another need to organise it project. Same with the bottom drawer needs organising and my two drawers over my side. Do you know what, my husband's side of the bed? I'm going to leave him to that. But my two drawers, they need pulling out and organising as well. Now, one thing I will never regret doing is turning this drawer into a chair. What on earth are you on about, Ree? I know what you're thinking. Now, traditionally, and by traditionally I mean in the last house, we had a chair in the bedroom and my husband dumped everything on it. The chair was for the clothes that were too dirty for the cupboard, but too clean for the wash, that he may put on again, but would probably just leave on the chair for several weeks until he decided he wanted them washed. In this house, I said, darling, this is your chair. So this is where he puts all the stuff that he would dump on a chair, and I can close it, and I don't have to look at it. And I still have a chair I can actually sit on. It has been a game changer. It's just an argument we no longer need to have, and it keeps the place looking tidier. So that's been amazing. The other thing that I would definitely recommend doing, and would 1,000,000% do again, is having under bed storage. So this is an ottoman bed that lifts up and I store off-season clothes in it, as well as lots of other bits and pieces. In the last house, we just had a bed on legs and it just ended up with loads of rubbish under the bed. But this is so much easier to sort and organise because it lifts really easily. Inside the wardrobes, these probably need a bit of a reorganise. I did recently do a wardrobe switch over for spring, so my wardrobes aren't too bad. I have now got suitcases in here because these are new since our last house tour. But these Calyx boxes, they just used to live in the attic, I think, in our old house, and we used them to make the insides of our wardrobe. So this was just a plain wall. My husband built this wardrobe kind of, not even a carcass, but he put these rods between the Calyx units, which go there to there. So the Calyx units are screwed to the wall, the rods are screwed to the Calyx units, and then we've got the sliding doors in front of that. So it does hide all of the storage, which is kind of cool. Another thing that has been a game changer is having towels. We've got towels the children can access here and here, ready to go into the bathroom and have a shower. And then this one. It does need a bit of an organise, if I'm honest, but this has got my upstairs cleaning caddy in it, which I can just lift out when it is time to clean. So whenever I feel the need, all the stuff is right there. Now this is not a permanent fixture, but it's where I kind of stack baskets to carry things up and down the stairs. The dirty laundry actually goes in here. Oh, there's something else that needs organising. Look, we store toilet rolls there, and my husband's dumped a lot of worky stuff. But you know what? At least it's behind a door. So that's the dirty washing basket that gets taken downstairs for the laundry. But then these are the baskets I use to physically carry the laundry down. Into Bella's room, there are a lot more ears. Whoop, bit wonky. There you go. A lot more Disney ears in here, as well as a lot more lovely Disney bags that I've been sent. The girls love having them in their rooms and then choosing which one they want to take out and about. These boxes, like the ones in Zara's room, probably need sorting. I probably need to do just a toy sort out generally. Bella's got her dressing table over here where she sits. She does a lot of drawing there actually. And then I still haven't decided whether to put a high bed in here, like quite a high bed, so she could play underneath. For now, I still kind of like to sort of tuck her in and sit with her on the bed, which I won't be able to do if there's a high bed. So I think that's why I've put off doing it. But this room is not massive. There's not a great deal of floor space. So by having a high bed, she could have like a den underneath. But I feel like it would have to be quite a high bed to make it worth it. The light's the same one as the one in Zara's room, and the light and the bunting both came from the old house. And it's the same wardrobes in each of the bedrooms. My husband built the built-in wardrobes because they just swallow so much stuff. Into William's room. Main changes in William's room. He's got some Disney bags as well, specifically Avengers and Star Wars ones, and some of his souvenirs from the cruise, from Walt Disney World, and he's got all these little maps, bless him, he loves those. My organisation projects in here need to be going through all of this stuff, because you find some boxes that you use quite frequently, like the towels in my bedroom, for example. They just stay as towels, they don't need reorganising, they just need refilling. Whereas these, you tend to get things dumped in them, like that's just a mishmash of stuff. Needs all pulling out and organising. We've been here 2 years, and what you find is it might look reasonably clear and tidy, but inside the boxes, like for example in here, yeah, that needs all pulling out and organising, doesn't it? It definitely does. I have definitely got my work cut out. So now into the bathroom. I'm going to put this light on, but it will make it noisy because it's got the hum of the extractor fan, so please excuse that. So things I definitely love in this bathroom. Storage under the sink, people. It's been a flipping game changer. So in here, this does need organising again. It needs a darn good clean. But the hair gel my husband uses every day, the hairbrush I use every day, the hair ties, tie my hair up for the shower, deodorants, face cream, hairbands to put hair out of face, toothpaste, all in there. Game changer. Bottom drawer, cloths for cleaning and cloths for face. Game changer, being able to have that stuff to hand. Also, the other thing I love in here, we've got one of these in the downstairs shower as well, I think I forgot to show you, but it is a dispenser. We just fill the stuff up so I don't have to have bottles of things all over the shower. And then in here, I've got 2 cupboards. This one has got cleaning products in it. It's high up enough to be out of the way of the children. And then this one's got like tablets and things we may need. That needs sorting. That looks like it's full of junk, but at least it's in here and it's accessible. And then in here, the children can access this one. We've got the toothbrushes. They're just in little pots and they can be grabbed for easy teeth cleaning. And then some toiletries and things in there. But it's just so handy to be able to have these cupboards, because we used to have our toothbrushes just out in the last house and it always looked a mess. But the biggest thing is just being able to go, do you know what? This bathroom's dirty. I'm in here for 2 minutes. I'm going to clean it. I'm just going to give it a quick wipe around. And most of the time I do the bathroom cleans, and not when you see me in my speed cleaning videos. It's just when I'm about to have a shower and I think, ew, I'll just give it a quick wipe. So let's go and have a little chat now, shall we? So I cannot believe it has been 2 years that we've been here. As you can see, most of the things I'm pretty happy with. We made the choices and most of them I'm pleased with. There are 1 or 2 things I would have changed, but all in all, I'm pretty happy. Most of the things I still have on my to-do list now are organisation things. They're not decor, they're not buying furniture. It's just going back over boxes, cupboards, drawers that were once organised and over the period of 24 months have just kind of gone downhill a little bit. And I think that's what we just have to realise, that getting organised isn't about getting organised and then it's done forever. It's kind of a process. By the time I get around the whole house and reorganise it all, then I'll probably have to go back and do some of the stuff from the beginning again, because the children will have grown out of things and our needs will have changed. So decluttering is definitely an ongoing process. So I hope you will subscribe to the channel and turn on bell notifications so that you can join me for what is now going to be a bit of an Organise with me and decluttering series. There are more videos to choose from on screen now. I shall see you guys over there in one of those. Bye.